Hey guys, thanks for joining me. I'm Andy with Swept Marketing, and I am going to show you something pretty cool today. So, first off, this is a screenshot I took this morning. You can see the date here, March 16th, 2020 at 11:24 a.m. This is on one of our clients' Facebook Manager. And this ad right here, the one that got 35 leads for $3.47 each, is the one I'm going to be talking about today, because it's a different strategy than most of our ads and it's pretty cool. So I'm going to show you how we did that, so hang tight. Okay, here we are in my ad manager, or one of my ad managers, and I'm just going to walk you through how we created this campaign so that you can do it yourself. So first off, I'm going to be creating this campaign for a real estate investing company, just as an example. Obviously, if you have a different company, this will still work for you, but you need to figure out, you need to switch up the ad so the offer makes sense for your target customer. So we're going to be, I need to select that we are a special ad category, housing, because we're going to be, showing a picture of a house and talking about real estate. So even though we aren't selling houses for somebody to live in, we still have to select that special ad category so we don't get disapproved by Facebook. Okay, and then our marketing objective, we're going to select messages, and we're just going to put property message test 1. I'm going to start with a daily budget of $30, which is what I recommend for most people. If you're not comfortable with that and you just want to test, your ad with minimal investment, $10 is fine. I wouldn't recommend going any lower than that. Okay, so we're going to hit continue. And we're going to make sure that on the ad set level, we have click to messenger selected. And I am actually, obviously, if this was for a real client, I would, have some kind of custom audience created or specific targeting. But we're just going to leave it on the United States because they're willing to sell this to anyone across the country. We're going to leave everything else the same as well. We're just going to have a super broad audience just for the purposes of this demonstration. And then we're going to select manual placements because I am not guaranteeing the results of this ad on Instagram. We have only used it on Facebook. So I would deselect Instagram, and that should be fine. And then we're going to run it continuously. So hit continue. All right, here on the ad, I would recommend testing out a few different images if you have them. For the purpose of this, I just am going to do one ad and show you guys the basic structure. So we're going to do greenhouse test 1. So what we're using for this ad is to get people's attention. We're using an image of an available property, investment property, that people can rent out that brings in cash flow every month. Which is obviously a great offer for real estate investors, and they love seeing available properties. So I have tested doing a single image. I've tested a video. So far we've gotten the best results with carousel, just having at least 2 images, different angles of the property. So I'm going to put a few in here and ignore all my other images. I play around with stuff in here a lot. So we're gonna put in this. This is just this is a stock photo. This isn't a real house because I didn't want to use a real house from one of our customers. So we're just gonna use a stock photo for now, and we're gonna say something really simple like message. Whoops, if I could spell, message us for pro forma. Get all the details. Okay, and we're going to put another image. Okay, so we're uploading our second image. These are not actually the same house. I'm just using stock photos here. Obviously, if this is a real house, you want to be, which you better be using a real house. Let's not try to trick anybody, but I would show a couple different angles of the same house. Start with a really nice picture of the front and then maybe do a couple, a different angle and then some of the best features of the house. So you can do, I would do at least 2. Oh, you have to do at least 2. but you could do up to 5, different photos on here. And each one needs to have something about, message us for details, full pro forma, or I'm going to say available now, message for details. Send message now. Okay. So that's there. And then in our primary text, we are not going to put a Loom link. I copied the last ad I wrote for the primary text here. Oh my gosh, come on. Okay, so this is really simple. This is not a long form ad, but as you guys saw in the results, it did really well. So the biggest trick here, of course, is getting something that your target audience wants, so that they will take the initiative to actually send you a message. So this is really simple. It says now available. This awesome rental investment property will be sold in 24 hours or less, which is true. These properties go extremely fast, so I'm just creating urgency there and trying to be honest about it. Properties in this area make great returns in any market, which is also true. This is a Kansas City property I wrote this for, and they basically always have a return because the rent prices there are so much higher than the property prices. So there's always a good cash flow there. And then this property is doing over 15% return. Message us for all the details and the full pro forma. So very simple, okay? Then our call to action is send message, obviously. Okay, down here in Messenger setup, we are going to select this new option. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this one called generate leads, okay? Pretty cool. And we're going to create a chat. So inside of here, you're actually going to create the automated conversation you're going to have with leads that come through before anyone on your team has to do anything. So this is all automated. So we're going to start out saying, hi, Angela, or whatever their name is. Please answer, and we're going to say a couple questions so we can help you better. And then we're going to ask them for their email address so we can send them the pro forma. But we're just going to say, what's your email address? You can validate their answers, so if they don't put in an email, it'll ask them again. I have found this decreases the amount of leads we get, so I actually don't do that. And then the next one, actually, we're going to ask for, let's move this. So after their email, and this is a cool trick. You guys have probably seen this before, but it's awesome. After their email, it's great we have their email, but we want to get their phone number, right? So our next question is going to be very simply, can we text you the full pro forma instantly? And then we'll have options that'll show up down below. We'll say yes, and then we'll say no, thank you. I just like to make them be polite. So those are my two options. And then here, these buttons over here, you can determine what happens when they select one of these. So for no thank you, we're going to skip to disqualification. But obviously we still want to send them the pro forma. They're just not going to be asked what their phone number is. So if you follow that down and you find there's a new box down here called disqualification message that showed up, and we'll say, thanks for the information. Please check your email for the full pro forma. And then I usually say something else. I'm not going to in here, but I usually say something else like, if you are interested in purchasing the property, call this number to discuss the details, or schedule an appointment at this link there. Okay, so we're going to go back to where we asked them the question. So if they say no thank you, they go to the disqualification message, which just says we'll be emailing you the pro forma. And then if they select yes, it's going, because we didn't put any conditions, it's going to allow them to continue to our next question, which we're going to do their phone number. And we're going to say, great, what is your phone number? Because they said, yes, please text me the pro forma instantly. Okay, so you can kind of see how our conversation's going over here. And they can just select phone number, and it'll, if you guys have used Messenger before, you know it makes it pretty easy to respond. So we say, great, what's your phone number? And then if they complete that, so there's a reminder if they stop answering, I would just leave that as it is. The completion message is if they say, yes, please text me, and they complete all your questions. Then I say, thanks for answering our questions, and I'll say, please check your phone for the requested pro forma. And then I would also say here something like, if you're interested in purchasing this property, please give us a call or schedule an appointment here. Okay, so that's it. Our automated conversation is done, ready to go. You can preview it in Messenger if you want to. I actually have one here that I sent to myself, and you can kind of test it out. So we're going to hit save and finish. Make sure you're completely happy with it before you hit save, because if you've ever used lead forms before, this is kind of the same deal. Once you create a form, or in this case, a chat to generate leads, it becomes a saved template, and you cannot come back and edit it. You have to duplicate it or create a new one. So just make sure you're finished with it before you hit save. And you can change the name to make it easier to find. Let's call this one Property Test 1. Okay, and you can change what happens if they say they want to pause the questions. I would say if you want to talk to a person, you know, call this number if they decide they don't want to engage with you. Most people just fill them out, but good to have the option. Okay, so we're going to save and finish. See, it tells you here you can reuse them, but you can't edit. So finish. Okay, and that is done. And it's saying I'm missing, oh, I have a third slide here that I didn't put a image on, so we're going to get rid of that. Okay, so here it is. We are ready to go. Very simple, as you guys can see. I just wanted to kind of show you the strategy. So we're going to hit confirm. And I'm actually going to turn that off because I wouldn't have this going in my own account. This is just an account I use for a bunch of tests like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, so you have that going, then we're going to go over to Zapier. Hopefully you guys are familiar with Zapier. And we're going to automate the leads coming in. So, okay, so here we are in Zapier, and we're going to create a new Zap to send the leads from the ad we just created to our CRM. So Zapier makes it super easy to automate communication between different software and to capture leads and not have to follow up with them manually. So we're going to do Facebook lead ads, not Facebook Messenger. Okay, the Facebook Messenger leads actually come through this Zap, Facebook lead ads. And it took me a second to figure that out, so I just have to make that clear. Make sure you select Facebook lead ads. We're going to trigger it with a new lead coming in. And then we're going to select my account. And we're going to select the page it's on, which is VATEX, which form. So hopefully we named our form something we can find. What did I name our form? I think it's this most recent Messenger one. All of your Messenger forms will be called Messenger and then have an ID after it. So I'm sure that's the one we just created. All right, so Messenger form, continue. and no data will be there. I hope you guys know how to create a test lead in Facebook. All you have to do is Google Facebook lead form test, and you can actually create a fake lead that will show up when you will show up as a lead. So when you search for data, it'll be able to find it. So we're going to actually skip this test. We're going to just continue. Whoops. Cancel. Okay, so we're going to do this to ActiveCampaign. So I don't know what CRM, whatever CRM you're using, hopefully it's in here. We're going to select ActiveCampaign. We're going to create or update a contact. Continue, select your ActiveCampaign. And then we're going to add them to a list that's specific to this. So I would create a list that's like Facebook Messenger, Greenhouse Test 1 or whatever, so you know what it is. And then in your CRM, you create a follow-up campaign that as soon as they're added to this in real time to this list, they receive their pro forma if they selected yes in the conversation. And if not, it skips straight to an email that sends them the pro forma automatically. And then you should have a follow-up sequence of 5 to 7 emails welcoming them and teaching them more about your company, how your process works, and offering additional items, offering like an appointment or, the option to get on a list to see all the hot properties in real time. So that's all stuff you'll do within your CRM. Maybe I'll create another video on that, but for this one's purposes, we are just showing you how to automate sending it to your CRM. So this is a test lead. I don't actually have any info in here. If you don't see the field you're looking for, like email address, just search for it. So we're going to put in email, first name, last name. ActiveCampaign has to at least have an email address. I'm sure yours does as well, whatever you use. And then phone number, because we got their phone number, and then continue. If you did a test lead, you can go ahead and test that and make sure it's all working correctly. We're going to skip the test because we did not do that. And then make sure you name it something that tells you what ad these are coming from. So Facebook, Messenger, Greenhouse, Test 1. Okay, and then we're going to turn it on, and that's it. So how Facebook works, your ad will be reviewed, and hopefully within the next month, you'll start seeing some amazing results. I would love to hear any comments you have about how this went for you, and any other videos or tutorials you'd like me to create. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon.